everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos come into today's matchup wanting to find a way to walk out of the stadium with win number 5 on the season. It's the Giants going up against the Broncos. Set for the call of this Week 15 matchup, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are a couple miles west of the Colorado State Capitol building as we come to you from Sports Authority Field at Mile High here in downtown Denver. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the New York Giants and the Denver Broncos. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Fifth-round man, Paul Perkins. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So here's the starting 11, and the human highlight reel, Odell Beckham Jr., watch out for him.
One of the few guys in the league that gets you and I out of our hotel rooms early to get here for pregame warm-ups and watch him go through his routine. He's absolutely amazing catching the football.
They're going to look to throw. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to rifle. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now back to throw. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Paul Perkins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carry, it's C.J. Anderson, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. To throw on second is Simeon. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Damon Harrison with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Big sack on second down. Now the offense needs to convert here on third.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Third and long. It's Simeon. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
10 yards to go on 3rd. Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now. Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Gould is able to put it through. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Here's Simeon. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide, it doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Hit at full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Now the former Utah man, this is Devontae Booker. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
All right, here we go. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, here's Simeon. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. And we look now at the defense for the Giants.
Jonathan Hankins is a run-stuffing defensive tackle. He creates a pile-up with each and every snap.
From the gun on 3rd, Simeon. Left side here to Sanders. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And New York set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
go with Perkins again. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here at 2nd and 12.
Here we go.
Here's Simeon now on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devon Kennard in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on 3rd down after that sack. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. From the gun, here's Simeon. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. On 2nd down, Perkins. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. Over the middle to Beckham. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Brad Wing now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Now Sanders. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And Denver getting set to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Booker on first down. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Hurry up, here we go.
To throw on second is Simeon. That is incomplete. Throwing on third down, Simeon. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on third down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Well, their offense has struggled for sure, but they get the field goal here and at least get on the board before half.
And that's not something we should underestimate, because just getting points on the board can sometimes have a settling effect on a team, helps them start their comeback.
And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
They'll let Perkins carry to start the drive. He hurdles him.
Should get a gold medal for that one.
And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. Back to Denver right after this. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
Here we go now. All right, now, look at 56. All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56. Blue 90.
Again, they go to Perkins. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
They'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. They got to get to the 23 here on third. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He finds Beckham complete. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
I'm about to do a disservice to the catch we just saw. One-handed, coming down with it, just like that. Yeah, I know. Odell Beckham Jr. We're used to this, aren't we?
We are.
And that's just wrong on every level. That was spectacular.
They go play action here on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And coming out now, the Broncos. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. Here we go now. 3-9. Here we go. Check. Patriot.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Here's Simeon. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Let's go. Boom, landed.
2nd and 10, Simeon again. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st and 10, Simeon. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This officially a 55-yard attempt. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out. Well, that came a little abruptly here. So working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. A second down carry for Booker. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Here we go. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
you got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now back under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Derek Wolfe, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, they only had a yard to go. They tried to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think on this one, this is probably good scouting, understanding a few tendencies, and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot, and they dialed up the pressure and got to him.
So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the third quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, man, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Here we go now.
Back to the air, Simeon on second down. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
On second down, here's Simeon. This is Booker on the dump off. A big play there on the catch and run. 37 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Running again, and again it's Booker. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Let's go. Blue, land it. Over. Detroit.
Off the fake to Booker and Simeon. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. And McManus able to put it through. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now, and he's accounted for all 9 of their points thus far.
And he's definitely keeping them afloat. But we say it so often, field goals are not going to win you games in the National Football League. They've got to find ways to start capitalizing when they get down near the red zone.
New York set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that off.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz call and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there. Brandon, with the last couple of plays for the offense not being good at all, my thought process as a coordinator, get the ball in the hands of my best player and see if I can salvage anything out of this drive.
Out of the gun now on third down. Caught left side, it's Beckham. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's fourth down. Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for New York. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Thomas, the lone receiver, left.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
To throw on second is Simeon. Catch made right side by Wilson. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come out here in the eye. Now a first down throw, Simeon. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's Booker. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Simeon. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
A handoff to Perkins. And a cut to the left sideline. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
All the elements of what you want out of a play came together on that one. A really nice run, took care of the football, and even more importantly, taking the clock under 4 minutes now. At this stage of the game, how do you bleed out the clock, take care of the ball, and make sure the other team doesn't have a chance to come back on you? You're looking at your sheet, how many timeouts are left, how many runs do we need to close it out? That's what the coach is looking at right now. Situational football, trying to gain a victory. Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Getting late here in the fourth, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here.
Let's go! 3-19!
They'll set up a throw. The left side throw complete to Adams. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it'll be first down here after the run. They go counter. Perkins. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That's a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. That one looks like he'll throw here, and that's incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down.
Green, 39!
They'll run. It's Marine. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And Gold is able to put it through, and that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So barring something extraordinary, something crazy here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Brandon, this will be a great win for them. The better team's going to win this game, no question about it.
So the Broncos coming out now. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. The fumble, but they're able to maintain possession. Now it's second down. Now it's Simeon. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of a wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
Well, we'll see what happens here. And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. the National Football.